We're offline.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive!
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Meddling kid. Trace the call. It's coming from inside the
Be
house.
afraid. Be very afraid.
How's it going, people? Welcome to a brand new episode of Adventures in Murderland. We are a LGBTQ plus true crime comedy podcast hosted by me, Mike James, and the black flame candle to my virgin sacrifice, Alan Cassidy.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Alan. First off, straight off the back, some general housekeeping we need to do, and by that we don't mean cleaning the toilette or the kitchen sink. We mean if you want to follow us on our social medias, you can find us on Twitter at MurderlandPod, and also we have a Facebook page with just under 300 followers so far. Just search for us at Adventures in Murderland.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good times indeed. Also, if you are not subscribed, following us on any of our social medias, you will not understand why we didn't upload a episode last week, essentially. If you want to know, if you're ever out there in the stratosphere wondering why there's no episode one week, then just go on Twitter or Facebook and find us, and you can see why. If there's any updates about the episodes, they'll be on there. Essentially, and we don't want to spend too much time with this, because it's quite boring, really. Quite fucking boring, one person might say.
It really is.
Fucking boring. Pretty much technical issues. We bought an iMac a good few months back, like maybe the start of this year, for videos and podcasting goodness. But unfortunately, iMacs, they don't connect very well with two of the same brand USB mic. They tell each other to fuck off, essentially, the microphones.
Yeah.
They don't really work. So we're having to use a very old laptop with this, which is perfectly fine. It's kind of fine. What I would equate it to, metaphorically, would be having a hockey game on a frozen lake. You can do it, but your bumhole will be twitching because at any moment the ice can break, and sometimes the ice does break and you fall underneath and you freeze to death.
Wow.
Good analogy, metaphor. Bad analogy and metaphor.
It's a good analogy, but it's
Well,
really
skating on thin
dark
ice
at the
is
end.
what the gist of that is, yeah. Sometimes it fucks up, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, we needed to sort that shit out. Apart from that, this episode is going to be quite long, but, Alan, we want to wish people...
Happy Halloween.
Happy All Hallows Eve, motherfuckers. That's quite aggressive, actually. Wow.
Yeah, but it's Halloween, so it's fine. You can get away with it.
It's Halloween. Although I do suspect, because we have only just got our technical issues done, this might go up for our people in the United Kingdom. Probably going to go up pretty late on Halloween. For people in the Americas and probably other places in the world, if they are listening, they're probably going to be on Halloween time. Right? Probably mid-afternoon-ish, something like that, I'm going to imagine. Either happy Halloween for today, I hope you're having a fantastic Halloween day, or if you're tuning in a little bit later on, I hope you've had a good Halloween, hope you had a fantastic Halloween 2018, or just have a nice day. Or just have a nice day. Hope nothing bad happens. Hope you're having a good meal. Substantial. Balanced.
You have to carve a pumpkin now.
Carving pumpkins. Yeah, but if it's not Halloween when the person's listening... Maybe they should not. Or maybe do. Who says that carving pumpkins should be strictly sold to Halloween? Not me.
No, I didn't
say that.
I'll do it all of autumn.
Yeah, let's do it. No, all year round. Fuck it, Christmas.
I don't think pumpkins grow all the year round.
Oh. Okay, well, maybe that's the reason why they only take place on Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
Okay, Alan. Very loud. Sorry. I'm very aware that sometimes I do sort of deafen our lovely listeners with my dynamic vocal powers. Maybe?
Prowess.
Powers, not prowess. Maybe. But no, this is going to be quite a longy-dongy one.
Excuse me.
It's going to be quite a long dong for you here, Sonny. You got a real pretty male. This is maybe a long one, so I think we're just going to cut straight to it. Oh, fuck, I didn't tell people at the start to cut out this. Oh, well. Long-time listeners will know that we talk a pile of shit for the first sort of 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Sorry if this is the first episode you've ever tuned into and you didn't know to skip this part. It isn't just incessant rambling all the way through. We do talk about grizzly matters, which I think we should skip to right now, because like I said, I think it might be a bit of a long dong silver, if you get my drift.
Oh my God, was with the innuendos.
That's my Halloween pirate name, baby. Arm, mateys.
What would he look like?
Savvy. I don't know, but maybe instead of like a...
Savvy mate.
Savvy. But maybe instead of like a hook, like Captain Hook, maybe just a big chrome one on his hand, yeah? Long dong silver. Okay, now that that's over with, let's get on to
the podcast.
The Grizzlies.
Oh.
The fucking Grizzlies. Between 1982 and 1984, the gay communities of both Indiana and Illinois were under attack from a vicious serial killer. Prowling bars and local cruising areas, this monster left behind a slew of mutilated corpses spanning across 2 counties. With the body count quickly piling up, would the police be able to act quick enough to prevent another murder? Or would their investigations see them let the killer slip right through their hands? This is the story of Larry Eiler, a.k.a. the Highway Killer. Ooh. We actually got an AKA this time. Yeah, because for not all serial killers have an AKA as much as I would.
The past, like, I think 3, we've not had an AKA.
Not had an AKA. Even though for dramatic purposes, I would appreciate if they did, but I get they don't all have that. But this one does. Kind of, the Highway Killer, sort of, it's kind of a name, there's similar names that are around. I was going to say,
it sounds
like the
very
interstate
familiar.
Murders, the roadside wrongin' or something. I don't know. That's not one, but it could be. Okay, so
the roadside wrongin'.
The roadside wrongin', baby.
I like that one.
So we're doing it a bit different because usually sometimes, I always try and move things narratively through the story, through the case, a little bit different. And normally, for the vast majority of them, they tend to be sort of almost biographical of we start with where the killer was born and growing up and everything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
This one, the notes I used these from aren't that way around. So we're just going to jump in some way, and then it's going to be. I'm rambling.
A little bit, yeah.
It's okay. Well, okay, let's go into it. Let's go. Okay, so we start off with 19-year-old Stephen Crockett being the first known victim of the Highway Killer. Stephen had been stabbed to death and his body discarded in a cornfield outside of a place called Kankakee, which is in Illinois.
Okay.
The place is 40 miles south of Chicago and 50 miles east of the Indiana state line. Kind of means little to me, but if you're in that vicinity, you might get a picture of where that is.
Yeah.
Discovery of his mutilated corpse on October 23rd, 1982, initially raised no alarms outside the immediate area of Kankakee County. Kankakee County, that's a very nice... it kind of rolls off the tongue.
Kankakee County.
Kankakee County. I like it.
County.
It's a little bit of alliteration rolls off my tongue. The second victim was a 25-year-old John R. Johnson. John had vanished from Chicago's Uptown district just 1 week to the day after Stephen Crockett's body was found. So 2 bodies found, very short amount of time, essentially. John had been missing for 2 months before he was found on Christmas Day near Lowell, I think it is, which is in Indiana, which is 35 miles northeast of where Stephen Crockett's body was discovered. So yeah, like I say, so far we got 2 bodies found relatively close to each other around about the same time. I always find, for some reason, and I know like obviously anyone being found or killed or whatever like that is always sad, but for some reason it just seems elevated for me when it's around Christmas. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Because I don't know why. Like Christmas for me is meant to be such like a magical time, and I think I think it's to do with the fact that people look forward to it.
Yeah.
And you've got like certain hopes and expectations, and
Yeah.
you might not have seen your family for a little while, and
It's where everybody gets together.
yeah, it's a family time. So
Yeah.
for someone to be taken from you on Christmas, it just seems like it's a little extra.
Yeah.
Plus, it taints Christmas forever, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gotta
No,
always
definitely.
Yeah, it's got to be really difficult to celebrate Christmas again after that.
I don't think I wouldn't be able to anyway.
The only time I could possibly imagine you could is like if you have other like younger children maybe who you want to do it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
that. But either way, people die. Of course. It goes without saying, fucked up no matter what time of year.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So at this point, police in Illinois and Indiana didn't suspect that the two crimes were actually related. The reason for that, and it's not their fault, really, because sometimes we put the blame on them and say they're just shitty cops. Not really their fault. At the particular time, the FBI's National Center for Analysis of Violent Crimes, which is just a database of unsolved murders, essentially, hadn't been created at that point. So there was no way for them to easily, you couldn't say, oh, I've had a murder of this type in my local area. Let's type in the details and see if another county. Yeah, see if something popped up. I had a quick little looky-loo, and that didn't come around until about 2 years later, in 1984, I think that was. So because of that, there was no quick method for them to check on similar crimes in different states or counties. And because of it, of course, it wouldn't be long before 2 more mutilated bodies would be found. December 28th, 1982. So again, floating around Christmas time, and Indiana police stumble upon the first victim of that particular day. And that was 23-year-old Stephen A.M. Stephen had left his mum's home with plans to go and watch a movie with some friends, but he just never returned at that point.
Oh, how sad.
I know, it's...
Fuck.
I always, I don't know, maybe I'm too much of an empath, maybe, but I literally envision, the goodbye, mom, see you later. I envision that, because, there's so many times in my life, and I'm sure in yours, where everyone's probably done it, where you say, goodbye, see you later, I won't be long, I'll be back at this time. You say that, and then these people obviously said that, but then they don't come back. Yeah, I always think of that. I don't know why. I think because it just resonates.
I think it's a common thing for people to say, though, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those things where we all say these little things like goodbye, see you later.
You don't think anything of it.
You don't ever think that's going to be the last time.
Yeah. Which
is what fucks me up. So, Stephen was found in a wooded area near a place called Newport in Vermilion County. Stephen had actually been slashed across his throat and stabbed repeatedly in his abdomen, leaving him disemboweled. So, he'd obviously been stabbed so viciously and so, bam, 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 so frequently, sporadically, would be know.
It's all come out.
Yeah, everything's come out. It's fucked, man.
Oh.
Strangely, when Stephen's relatives were called in to identify his body, they noticed something peculiar. Something that, given the situation and sort of, the feelings that they could be under and, the mourning and everything, may have otherwise gone unnoticed. According to Stephen's parents, the white tube socks he was wearing weren't his.
Oh.
So, like I say, otherwise, if it would be perfectly understandable, given the situation of them identifying the body, that wouldn't be everyone's main focus.
Yeah.
But the fact they picked up on that was slightly significant, maybe?
Yeah. No, that's definitely.
Yeah. Because what a strange thing to not have.
Yeah.
To have your shoes off and have someone else's socks on. Strange. But, and like I said earlier, Stephen was only the first body to be found that day. 40 miles away from where Stephen A.M.'s body was discovered along Highway 70 in Putnam County, John Roach, who was a 21-year-old Indianapolis resident, was stabbed to death in a maniacal frenzy before his body was dumped along the interstate. That was just about 30 miles southwest of his actual home, so it wasn't too far from where he lived.
Right. Okay.
Just like with Stephen Crockett and John R. Johnson before them, which was the original two, the first two people, Stephen A.M. and John Roach's murders had taken place in separate counties. And much like had happened previously to them,